9 p.m. in Arctic time to English Nation. For tonight headlines, we have the launch of training program on client relationship management, service and tourism hospital. For the international scene, Brazil reaches the 100,000 dead records of coronavirus. Welcome to our newsroom within the framework of the Category 2 project to support the development of and promotions of tourism in Djibouti, financed thanks to the partnership of enhanced integrated framework. The National Tourist Office of Djibouti held the opening ceremony of the training course on Sunday, August 9th, on the theme of relationship management, customer service and experience, and tourist receptions of customers, which will take place from August 9 to 19. This project, led by the management of the ONTD, has seen the participations of about 30 representatives from tourist accommodation structure, hotels, restaurants, as well as tourist guides and young graduates of the hotel schools of Arta. The objective of this training course, led by this expert Ndiol Gueye Sene by video conference from Senegal, is to improve the coordinations of receptions and at the destination and to rethink the behavior and the relationship of the customers in tourism sector thanks to the quality of service and reception. This training workshop was opened by Ms. Idil Mohamed Mahmoud, Head of Department and Project Managers, calling on the participant to take note during the training. More detail in this video.
In today's context, it is a context of increasing digitalization and tough competition in the tourism sector. Tourists' expectations are increasingly high. This is why the aim of the training is above all to reinforce the knowledge and experience that you, cults, operators in the tourism and hotel sector have on a daily basis, as for the optimal management of customer relations, but also the maximum efficiency of reception. What should be remembered here is that tourism is a sector marked by stiff competition. Therefore, you have to know how to stand out from the crowd. Secondly, today's tourists are very demanding. When you have to remember, an unsatisfied customer is a lost customer. And thirdly, tourism is a market very much influenced by the opinions of customers. So what you have to remember here too is that experience is a differentiating factor. That is what differentiates us from the tourism operators in other countries and make it possible to better sell the brand of the country, that is the destination of Djibouti.
This morning at 11 a.m. A fire took place in the neighborhood 2 of Khor Burhan sector, causing light material damage and fortunately no human casualty. The fire brigade teams mobilized in a remarkable way in conditions of intense heat to bring the fire under control. According to the investigations carried out on the site, origins of fires was declared due to the ignition of a kitchen stove caused by the winds. The Minister of Defense, Hassan Omar, and the Colonel of the Civil Protection visit the site of fire to inspect situations and the extent of the damage. In addition to these fires in the neighborhood too, another fire was declared the same day in Iran, where we call on the populations to be vigilant in this period of Hamsin, where the winds are blowing. For his part, the Director General of Civil Protection, Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud, explains that the populations must pay more attention to the risks of fire. Listen to the...
As you know, the letter was the subject of a very important one in the capital, Djibouti City. If I go back to this Wednesday, the fire that completely destroyed CAM, namely the Central Purchasing Office. There has also been an explosion of the hospital's oxygen supply, which is also the national office. The damage should have been greater than that. We contained it, we saved it so that the fire could stay where it started and the property could be completely destroyed. We thank God to know for this day, 4 fires in a row like this morning at 6 o'clock. The cement factory in Djibouti was subject to a short electrical circuit fire quickly brought under control in the water, the destruction of which was only the electrical room. This was followed by the fire that occurred 2 hours ago in the neighborhood, where a cleaning lady, a housekeeper who was cooking, forgot to put out the kitchen. Another fire is breaking out in Balbala, in the Hoden area. Firefighters from the 5th Preventive Advance from Balbala, Sheikh Musa, are putting it out. Special vigilance is required for the entire population for the safety instructions, namely to watch out and put someone on if it is dark, because we are in the habit of lighting fires for the house and for any period of time, for all kinds of mosquitoes and so on. And the best ones, I would ask the public, like the informations we put on TV for advertising, to remain vigilant. I'm also asking the public to be careful not to defraud and to be careful about usage, the misuse of electricity for personal purposes. I would also ask the men and women and local merchants to please respect safety standards so that there will be no loss for everything they have invested in equipment and human property.
Operation of sensitization against the risks related to the sea is after the Citizens' Days of Environmental Protection in schools in this year's 2020. 2021 is a vast plan of prevention and citizen awareness. This vast project, initiated by His Excellency the Minister of National Education, advocates the values of solidarity, mutual aid, patriotism. The young bathing supervisors, boys and girls, accompanied by their trainers, have in this context insisted on these values among the children, young people, and children present at Siesta. The users of the sea of Siesta welcome the initiative of Menfolk, which aims at protecting their children, and parents were very attentive to the advices of preventive giving by these future professional rescuers to them. The donations of anti-COVID-19 materials from IGAD to the quarantine centers of Al-Awsa, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, offered this morning donations of anti-COVID-19 materials consisting of 2 large batches of masks and hydroalcohol gel to the quarantine centers of Awsa. This gift is of masks and hydroalcoholic gels was handed over to the head of this camp, Hassan Muhammad Farah, in the presence of the prefect of the region, Musa Adan Migane, by the coordinators of the health programs and the social divisions of IGAD, Dr. Teskay Lekese, knowing that currently some 380 migrants, mostly refugees from Saudi Arabia and Yemen, are staying in this camp. They will be tested for the coronavirus before being extradited to their countries of origin, Ethiopia. Donations follows on appeal by the Minister of the Interior, Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, to UN officials and IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Wakne Gebeyu during their visit to the camp on 27 July.
It's going to complement the existing effort. It is only to show our solidarity and then complementarity working with Al Sabih region and with Djibouti.
For his part, the prefect of Al Sabih, Musa Damigane, thanked the IGAD senior officials for these donations of anti-COVID-19 materials. More detail in this report.
For this gift, which is the part of the response for the COVID-19. This donation will certainly improve the health of the patients who are here, and especially preserve the workers, since this material is part of the gestures.
A delegation from the Ministry of Agriculture is led by Engineer Bragoita Saeed, including the Regional Directors of Agriculture, Mr. Musa Mohammed Abdallah, the Sub-Prefect of Torra, Abdallah Mohammed Kamil, and local elected officials carried out an inspection mission to observe the rainfall situation and the proliferations of locusts in the region of Tajura. A second wave of these locusts from Somalia have appeared and is likely to severely impact the agricultural situations and the fauna and flora. The rains of the Karma seasons fell on the whole region, especially along the Tajura-Balho road axis. The hydraulic work is carried out for the benefit of rural community are all in water, especially in the sub-prefecture of Dora, the Duda between Dora and Balho, as well as Garab Tissan and Daba Madgul, are all filled thanks to the rains of Karma season. For his part, the sub-prefect of Dor Abdallah Kamil and the local elected representative explained the population does not suffer anymore from difficulties of access to water in this period of Karma rains, with the filling of hydraulic works, which will be very important for the families of the remote rural zones, as in Garaptisan, where the Minister of Agriculture has set up rotations of tanker to supply a community of 600 households. While the rain has had a positive impact in the region, it is now feared that the locust outbreak that has been raging in Tujura and Obo for the past 2 weeks will have negative consequences. For Engineer Bragota Saeed, directors of the UGP of the Ministry of Agriculture, listen to Dini Musa.
Culture has provided the techno-handicraft villages to a large community of 600 households every day. It's rain that was really much awaited by the rural population. Here we are in the Dora Plain, which is a very important grazing area. About 50 reservoirs have been built in the north, in the Magdul Plain, Andaba and Agrabistan Plain after the rain, which had a positive impact in the Tajora region. So it is feared that a second wave of locusts that arrived from Somalia through the Ali Sibih region, Arta, and even the Gub'ad plain, and arrived in Tajora and Ubukh only in the last 2 weeks, where it has been raging. The population had therefore alerted the regional authorities to mitigate the effects of locusts. And the government, since the first wave in October 2019, has made an international appeal and mobilized significant funding to fight in a sustainable manner against the locusts, which are a major scourge in the region, particularly in West Africa and Djibouti within the framework of this project. It is planned to set up a locust control center in Ubukh, which will be equipped with an aircraft that will both treat locusts and control the mosquito, which is a major health scourge for the Republic of Djibouti. The Ministry of Agriculture has a scheduled locust impact survey, and we have written it to the regional councils and prefectures of the 5 regions to inform them of this mission, and we will be able to contact the population.
It is within the framework of the National Family Solidarity Program that a joint mission initiated by the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Interior, as well as the Secretary of State for Decentralization, was held in the region of Obok. The National Family Solidarity Program, which is an integrated program aimed at strengthening and consolidate human capital through monetary transfers and accompanying measures. Second cash transfers of the year 2020 was coupled with medical services provided by the mobile health team of our region, elsewhere households living in its remote localities were thus able to benefit from medical consultations, pregnancy monitoring, prenatal and postnatal visits, child care. This shows the success of coordination between different sectoral ministries at the level of interior region. Khair Ali Hassan, the head of the missions, in her interview stressed within the framework of the joint missions. Listen for details.
Khair Ali Hassan, the head of the mission, in her interview, stressed that the framework of the joint mission initiated by the Ministry of Social Affairs in Solidarity, in cooperation with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Interior, as well as the Secretariat of State for Decentralization. She recalled that this operation consists of the distribution of the second tranche of the year 2020 in the households living in the localities targeted by the National Family and Solidarity Program, were thus able to benefit from medical consultations. She added that this operation is done every 3 months and is only for the most needy families. Finally, she recalled that the beneficiaries of the sub-prefectures are 520 households, and the operation went well with the help of God.
The Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, in partnership with the Ministry of Women and Family, the Ministry of Budget, the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Communication, Djibouti City or RTD, Djibouti National Olympic Sport Committee, organized Thursday evening in front of Guled Stadium a musical event where several national artists and groups performed. Present at the ceremony were the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the Minister of Women and Family, Mumina Hamad Hassan, and the President of the National Olympic, Aisha Garad, the Secretary General of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Ms. Khadija Ibrahim Idris, the Mayor of Djibouti, Fatma Wali Usman, as well as different directors of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport. This sports and musical activity will last all months of August They aim to channel and fill their program guides with young people during the school holidays. These activities will be repeated on different major roads of the capital so that all Djiboutians can benefit from them. For the international scene, Brazil passes the 100,000 mark. Brazil is the second most affected country in the world by coronavirus after United States with 100,000 deaths and 3 million confirmed cases. More detail with Dinusa.
President of Brazil, one should not seek responsibility from the authorities. Jair Bolsonaro even admits that he has a clear conscience, even though the coronavirus is claiming more and more victims in his country. Brazil thus became on Saturday the second country to exceed the 100,000 death mark after the United States, the largest country in Latin America with a population of 212 million, also closed another symbolic threshold on Saturday, that of the 3 million affected people. Above all, the reality could be much worse. The official figures must be indeed put into perspective because of insufficient testing, with specialists estimating that the total number of infected people could be up to 6 times higher. For comparison, official data show that Brazil has 478 deaths per million inhabitants.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.